All right. Let's jump back into this one. Great. So what we are doing here, this is an automation that will create faceless niche AI videos using an API called fal.ai. We're making a couple calls to fal.ai to use the Flux models to generate images, then send those images through Minimax to create short video clips. Everything is organized and run from this Airtable base. We've got this test project going on, creating some scenes in the generation table, and working through these automation chains. So just coming back into this one. Let's see where we're at. We've got this chain worked out. So last week I was testing out this new fal.ai make module, and it definitely shortens up the chain here. This chain right here is essentially doing the same thing as this chain right here, but it's not exactly working quite right. So I have this Minimax chain. This Minimax chain it's making a call to fal.ai, running through the Minimax model to create the video. This is setting up a loop. We're checking on the video status to see if that video is done, then downloading the video and getting it back in Airtable. So that's what we did last time. We got a couple videos back. Pretty good animation on these videos. For the video prompt, I just said subtle animation. We've got the video preset prompts loading in here. So that all looks good. Awesome. So let's continue down this chain. I'm going to jump back over here and see what we need to do next. All right, so I have the main route here. The main route is still disabled. Everything's running off this testing route. The next route would be to combine clips. So we need to combine the scene clips, the clips for each scene, into a finished video. That is essentially what this next step will do. So we're probably going to be working in the assembly table. Everyone jumping onto this stream. This was an automation I built for the school community. I have this full step-by-step tutorial on YouTube, and I have this entire course on how to build this automation in my school community. You can check the links in the description of this stream. But basically, I'm taking that previous automation, the Airtable base and the make.com scenario, and ripping it apart, creating something new, just for a different style of video, faceless video content. All right, so where we're at, this is my first time jumping into the assembly table in this build. This is the previous Airtable base that I'm still just ripping apart for this build. So we still have some residual stuff from the last automation. Audio plus video. This one's already broken. We can get rid of this field. We'll need the music. We'll need to assemble. This is a button, essentially. We'll get our combined video and the fully finished video with the music added back right here. So these are some extra records that got put in here at some point. I'm just going to delete out. There we go. I'm not sure what this one is. Some test at some point. But this is the video project that we're working on to finish off this testing build. So we're We got the video project set up. It's coming through, generating the scenes. This was our first testing image generation. So we need to get these videos coming through into the assembly table. Cool. So we need a video. We need a video field in here. Let's check my all data view. Anytime I'm building these automations out, I put an all data view just so I can see all of my fields and records. Whereas in my regular grid view, just rename this assembly. This just has the related fields, the fields related to actually working with the content, making these videos. So all data. Looks like we don't have a field for the videos coming from the generation table. So how can we do that? We need to link all of these videos back to the story, back to the project that brought them in here. Okay. Here's another residual field. The previous automation was an AI story generator. It created storytelling style videos with AI images built into it. I could probably get rid of this field. I'll just use it as a blank field for dropping text if I need to for now. So I'll just rename it for testing. For testing, just to know. We don't need that. What we do need is, let's see, in the generation table, we need these linked back to our record. Don't think we have that. Record link set up. So when this video project actually runs this prompt and gets these videos, gets these scenes being generated in here, we actually don't have a way to link back to that original record. Let's see why. Record. We need that record. We need that record coming into the generation table. So I wonder if we just add anyone coming onto the stream. Basically, this is just me going about my workday, figuring this stuff out. I'm building automations in N8N. This one is still in Airtable and in make.com because I started this one months ago and still working in make.com. Anyone who's interested, I am building all of my automations, all of my make scenarios in N8N as well, just to learn N8N, get that stuff built out, see what N8N can do. So if you're wondering why I'm using make still, you're on the N8N train. I can build this one out fully in make, figure out how to do it, and then rebuild it in N8N. But otherwise, Alex Osti, welcome. Yeah, he was about to ask that question. Yeah, otherwise, if I get a lot of questions, N8N or make, should I jump on the N8N train? And basically, if you're using make for your business and you are succeeding, right? If everything is going smoothly and it's working, there's no reason to jump onto N8N. It's too early to tell which one is better. Right now, N8N is hot. AI agents are hot, but there's other tools coming out that can do AI agents as well. So it's just trendy right now. Shiny object syndrome is real. Don't get caught up in it. Don't waste your time if things are working out already for you. That's my advice. Now for me, this is what I do. So I'm jumping on that N8N train. Yeah, and can be self-hosted. That's a big one. I obviously am on the internet. I'm on YouTube. I'm everywhere. That's not a factor for me. So people that need a local solution, end is going to be the choice there. So let's see. I'm just brainstorming. I need to get the record of the video project into the generation table for each new record in the generation table. All right, so that most likely means we need to create that connection. If I don't already have it, I should, but I don't think that I do. So we need a linked record in the generation table. Let's create a new record, link to another record. This will be video project. Do not allow linking to multiple records. I'll just see what pops up in here. We need probably any of these fields would work as an ID. Let's just choose the project name as an ID. Actually, we don't even need that. That's just the text field. We can skip that. And now we've got our video project. We should be able to link a project in here. So for this little video here, I'll just delete out this test record. This video is going to have 5 scenes. We need to link these 5 scenes to that same video project. So if I manually go in here, I can select that prompt generation test project. In fact, we can come back into the video project and rename this full test. Something like that. Back into the generation table, and now all of these are linked to our full test. That's done manually. Now we need to get this done automatically. So I think in the make scenario, we need to link this with the record ID of the video project. All right. So I'm going to refresh this Airtable module. We'll probably have to rerun this whole thing and just create an all new video here. Yeah, let's go for that. So I'm going to unlink all of these routes again. Just link them all back to the main route. Generate images, generate video, linked back to the main route. And we got this testing route going back. So this will just create the scenes with no information. It'll create the image prompts and the scenes with that new field in there. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to create a new video project. Let's say refresh Airtable test. It's going to rely on all these settings, so I'll just put in all these settings. I'll use my generic theme, prompt writer, photograph, image prompt, and just copy the prompt from the previous. Set this to manual and click go. Actually, we should trigger it first back in make. It's not turned on, so I got to click run once. Back into Airtable and trigger that. Cool. So that's creating all the image prompts. There we go. And nothing came through over here, so we had that not build out. Let's take a look. Got our prompts. Everything's connected up. Creating a JSON object. Do not parse. Sure, that looks good. Results is coming in there, and this is failing right here. Reconnect that. Let's try it again. There we go. It's going to generate the image prompts again, and we got another failure. So this was happening before. I think what's going on is we're not getting the proper output here. It's creating a different array each time this runs. So it's something to do with the output here, right? So we're getting all of our arrays, our image prompts, but you can see this word keeps getting changed. We need the prompt to make sure that this word stays the same. It's coming back and forth between AI image prompts and prompts. So we need to make sure we specify that in the prompt here. But otherwise, it's creating all of the image prompts correctly. We have it creating 5 different scenes. So we've got 5 different image prompts. It's just failing here on the iterator because that array keeps getting named something differently. Let's check out our prompt here. So it's going to be the assistant prompt writer instructions, or the JSON bot instructions. Let's check both. Prompt writers, I have my generic theme writer. Yeah, so this is just writing, giving us the theme for our image prompts. So in the system automation tab, our JSON bot, it's going to be in this prompt right here. We need to make sure that we're specifying that word. Here's the array of 5 prompts. So we need to make sure this is always output as AI image prompts. I'm going to just copy this whole prompt, come into ChatGPT, paste that, and say, this is my prompt. I want this to return an array of 5 prompts. Each object in the array should include an array called AI image prompts. Nope, didn't like that. Let's try that again. This is my prompt. I want this to return an array called image prompts. Let's try that again. Whoops, yeah, let's say we want this prompt rewritten. I'm sorry. I want this prompt rewritten for me. All right, so here's the new prompt. See, it's not giving that specification. If we copy this in there, let's just say, that's probably what I did before, is just copy and paste that. So let's just specify it in the original. The array should be called AI image prompts. Let's try that. See what we have linked in here. All right, so this is going to fail again because we need, oh, we can link it. There we go. There we go. So we'll test it again, just to get that consistent generation there for that prompt for that array. Collins, what's up? I see you in there. Okay, so that came through, meaning we regenerated that proper title or that proper array name, AI image prompts. So I can double check, you can run this a bunch of times to see if that will be consistent for that generation. Doesn't really matter. What we need currently, five scenes coming through. I got Kushal. Is that how you say your name? How's it going? How can we connect? You can join the school group. I've got the link in the description of this stream. Join the school group. Come hang out with all of us. We're all building cool stuff together. What's up, Collins? Concept Tropic. Let's see. Brainstorming. Okay, so we need to link those records. What we got coming through in the generation table now should be 5 new records. Now you can see these 5 new records sort of combined, these 5 new scenes combined with our 5 previous scenes. We don't want that. We want these separated by video project. So let's see what we can do to link that up. When we come back in here now, going to relink all this stuff that broke, and we should now have Where we at? This is the generation table. Yeah. So we need to link to this record right here. Let's try and run that again. We get this visual glitch on this button sometimes. Just says that your scenario is not running when it actually is. Doesn't change to a running button, but I'm just jumping out of here just to delete these old records, trying to come through just to clear everything out. Cool, let's try it again. I'm going to delete these records back into the video project, retrigger that. Now we should get this Airtable module refreshing with the new data and hopefully the new field. Let's check it out. So we have this now being improperly renamed, the actual value inside the array. I'll have to tweak that in the prompt as well, but we're trying to get I wonder if we can now. Let's see what else we need in here. So ultimately, we're going to link back those videos into this table. So in this table, we can find that new linked record that was created over here. Video project, all data. Let's find that linked field. Here it is. We can create a lookup field for this linked field. This will be the videos. We want to get those back from the generation table. So we have our generation table link right here. We're going to also look up the videos from the generation table. Okay, so this links back the two videos that I have in there for this project, right? This one in the generation table, I've manually linked these records, manually linked this video project table to the full test record, right? This is the full test video project. In the generation table, I've linked these 5 records, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to that. And I have 2 videos in these 5 records. So we see those 2 videos coming through. Definitely tricky connections here. This is the magic and power of Airtable, just creating these really complex connections to get your data moved around and automating how you want it to. But here you see the 5 linked records in the generation table: 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Record 34 and 35 have videos. There's those 2 videos right there. Cool. So we're trying to get these links over here automatically. I think better than trying to link that field directly is linking the record ID. So we have the record ID. This record ID is for the video project record. If we link this record ID to those in the generation table, that could be our solution there. Let's give it a shot. So we're linking the full video project. Let's connect the record ID. So I'm going to look up the record ID from the video project table inside the generation table. Add a lookup field. Let's grab the record ID. Add that field. Now we see this is the same record ID for all of these records because it's the same video project. Cool. Let's give that another test. I'm going to delete these 5 blank ones again. Jump into make, run once. Come back into projects, retrigger that. Alan, what's up? Let's see what we got. Glad to have you guys here. This is great. Now, you guys, are you in the school group live stream on Telegram and the YouTube live stream, or are you just over here, Collins and Alan? Just over here on YouTube. All right, so that ran our 5 scenes through there again. We got that same connection error. We need to make sure this prompt is coming through properly named every time. And we're not getting that. We're not getting that field to come through. I wonder if my connection is bad here. I periodically go through all my connections in Airtable, just start deleting stuff, so I might delete I might delete connections I need. I'm gonna delete this Airtable module, create a new one, just reset it. I think we're having a weird connection glitch maybe. Choose my connection, choose my base, choose my table. I want to create new records in the generation table. Is that Mensa? What's going on? Great to have you guys here. All right. That is what we needed, just a reset on this module. For whatever reason, we weren't getting that connection to come through. So there's the fields we actually need to connect. It's a good tip for you, Mensa. Sometimes weird stuff happens. If you're running into trouble, can't make your connections, delete it, redo it. All right, so for AI image prompt, we need to connect this up. That's the one that's breaking. Generation actions, we can unmap this, set it back to choose action. For request ID, now for video project, this is what we need to link in here. This is our linked record, and the record ID is going to come from this Airtable module. This is the record that is creating this chain, or essentially making this chain happen. This record that's making this chain happen is going to be the record that the button is clicked inside of. So we need to get that same record ID. So this is going to be from the Airtable module here. Now that will automatically link that video project record to all of the scenes that get generated in the generation table. So this is our last glitch right here. Don't have to worry about that yet. I'm going to come down and save the scenario. Run it again. So everyone coming onto the stream, basically, I'm just going about my workday. You know, sometimes it's helpful to watch somebody who's mastered this stuff and learned all this stuff kind of fumble and stumble around. I think that's the best way that I learned. I learn in all the ways. I can learn from visuals, I can learn from writing, I can learn from watching, I can learn from reading. But sometimes watching an expert fail is one of the most helpful things. And I'm failing pretty expertly through this one. That time it was a mouse glitch. I clicked and I lost all my data. So I'm going to run it again. Now, some people watching the stream might ask, why aren't you doing this in N8N? N8N is hot right now, and everyone is jumping on N8N. I am jumping on N8N. All of my content on YouTube and in the school community is focused around N8N. It is definitely the shiny object tool everyone is jumping into. So the best advice I have for people regarding that is if you're using Make for your business and it's working, there's no problems, you don't wish you could do any more, then stick with Make. Make can do a lot. It can do the same, if not more, than it always could, and N8N is it's nothing better. Where people are starting to jump into N8N is it has the power to run locally on your local machine. So that is a huge factor for some people. That is not something that I need. So Make and N8N are relatively the same for me. However, I am jumping into N8N. It's fun to work with. It's fun learning new stuff. So if you're like me in that way, then definitely pick up N8N. All of my content is going to be focused on that. But this particular automation I started building months ago. So I'm still building it in Make. Once I finish it in Make, figure out how to do it, I can easily build it in N8N. But brainstorming here. Actually, before I move on, let's see if that actually came through. That looks good. Let's jump back into Airtable, check the generation table, and we have everything coming through linked to our video project record automatically. That's perfect. Should have 10 records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I ran it twice because I wasn't paying attention. So we have 10 records in here. So that is linked up and working. So I'm going to delete all of these records. Actually, I'll leave these in here and we'll work with these new records. So we'll just start a new video. Now, what's great about linking these records in the Ragu, is that how you say your name? Says, can't hear me. Let's see. Yeah, you're in the video chat, so I don't know. Mensa, can you hear me in the Telegram group? Should be able to hear me. Toggle that on now. Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think my microphone setting was weird in the Telegram Telegram group. Thanks for pointing that out. Appreciate you. Welcome. Cool. So what's cool about linking this up here is we can actually sort or group our records in here by the video project. So I'm going to come up to group, come to video projects, group by video project, right? So now we have our full test video project and our refresh Airtable test video project with their scenes separated out. That is what we want. Awesome. So now we need to get these videos, all of the scenes, all of the videos from all of these scenes into the assembly table. That's going to help us run down our next automation chain in Make. The next automation chain is combining all of the scene clips. Cool. So in the assembly table, we need a link to just brainstorming, thinking out loud. By the way, anyone who watches my stream or watches my videos, I actually talk to myself out loud like this when I'm working alone. It just helps work through this stuff. It's yeah, talk out loud to yourself. I'm not a coder, so it's, all this stuff is it's the same logic boxes, it's the same building, it's the same, it's the same logic. So really, it's essentially coding with little icons, drag and drop. So working around all these problems, I love the problem-solving nature of it, but I am not a coder. My background is in art. Chip in with audio. No, this session, I don't know how to say your name, so I'm sorry, Rag. This session is just a live stream, so I'm just, for this particular session on Wednesdays, I just go about my regular workday. I just work on stuff, talk out loud to myself, and I figured since I'm working on this stuff anyway, I could have people watch and follow along if they're building the same kind of stuff. But if you're new to the school group, we have the Q&A sessions, the live Q&A sessions on Tuesdays. So we'll start up that one next week. Also, I have a free call on the first Friday of every month. This goes for everyone listening into the stream. I have a free call in the school group. Everyone joining up, you can have a call with me just to get you oriented in the school group. We can talk about what you want to work on, start working on your projects together right away, figure things out for you, and get you into the flow inside the group. Any of the members inside the group, anyone can book a call with me on that day. We can work one-on-one with your builds. So free call Friday, it's the first Friday of every month. You can book, if you're in the school group, you can book inside of the classroom. I'll show you all that stuff later on. So actually, I can show you right now. Just for funsies, in the classroom, come into live calls and replays, and you could book a one-on-one call. Now, it is going to be free on that first Friday. I think it's the 7th next week. 2 weeks? No, next week. So book a call anytime on these days for this Friday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Phoenix time or Mountain time zone. All right, getting distracted. Let's jump back into this. We need to link, just brainstorming, link videos from our video project table, right? So I'm going to show that new linked record. It's in all data and fields over here. I just created it, this one right here, but I'm going to show that in my main view so we can see our projects, we can see our linked scenes over here. I actually probably won't need to do that for the final product, the finished table. So let's just leave it in here. So this field with these, all of these videos needs to get linked to the assembly table. So in the assembly table, we need a link to this field. So I'm going to rename this field video. Let's call them video clips from the generation table. Let's go into the assembly table. Let's create a new record, a new field. Create a link to another record in the assembly, no, in the video project table. Do not allow linking to multiple records. This will be, let's just leave it as the default title. That should come through just fine. I'll create the field. We want the video clips. There it is, video clips from generation table. Add the field. So now we have the linked video project field and the related video clips. So this is going to say from generation from video project. Yeah. Video clips from our generation table, which is linked to the video project table. Great. So if I manually, we have these records automatically getting created in here for each of the video projects. These are getting created via these automations already on the back end in Airtable. These are, let's see, it's going to be new project entry. This also duplicates that record or creates that entry into the assembly table as well. So anytime a new record, a new project is created in the video project table, again, thinking out loud to myself so I can remember all this stuff I've built. Yeah, meant to, sorry about that. Sorry about that. That's probably why Clyde left too. All right, so in the video project table, we now have that assembly table link getting created. Very complex linkages here, but again, this is the magic and power of Airtable, making these really complex connections once everything is set up. Man, this is super cool to watch things run. So we have the records, video projects already getting created. Now this title is residual from the other automation, so I'll just rename this title. This field, this is going to be video project. In fact, if we already have this video project link, this one is going to be a duplicate. Yeah, this one will be a duplicate if I'm just going to rename that one. That one's the same linkage. So I'm going to delete these two new fields. Rename this one video project and create the lookup to the video clips from generation. Cool. That's what we want. That is nice and tidy. Now we have that broken record, broken field right here. I'll just delete this one. Come back into the assembly table. Clyde, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It automatically muted my mic. I guess something went wrong, and I didn't realize it until Ragu pointed it out. I don't know how I say your name, so I apologize for that. So let's see. Mensa, you asked, quick question. Could you use a roll up or just lookups? So roll up, this is going to be a different style of field, right? We actually want to let's see, I'm not paying attention to my options here. Video project, let's just roll up the record ID. Okay, so different style of linkage here. Now, I just use the lookup fields because what we're actually doing is creating a sort of I don't know how to phrase this. We're creating a calculated duplicate of that same field. So I actually don't even know how I would utilize the rollup. I don't think I've ever used that for my automation. So maybe you know more than me on that topic specifically. But to get the linkages to work properly, we're creating a calculated copy of those records with the lookup tables. I don't know if that answers your question. Maybe I'm not even understanding it, but yeah, so you might know more than me on the roll-up use cases. Cool, where are we at? So curious about when to use them. Yeah, so I don't know if I can give you a quick demo here. So if I create a roll-up to the video project table inside of the assembly table and choose the project name, right? This is going to be a I don't even want to. I don't have a use case. This is just going to be the text linkage to the actual link right here. I don't know if that makes sense. I haven't used rollups enough to know the language around it, but essentially when you use the linked record, you can select the records you want to link, right? If you're using the rollup, it's just going to show you. We can't actually get that information to select in there, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm still not answering your question. I just don't use them enough to have or at all, I should say, to have when to use it. Because what I would do is create the linked record so I can, automate that, use that linked record. And then from that linked record, if I need the text, I would add the lookup field and add the text also, right? Essentially the rollup also. And I'm not a database or spreadsheet master either. So if you have, if you guys have knowledge on these other use cases for these things, maybe in Kanban, timeline, list view, stuff like that, I don't use the rollup. I'm definitely going to probably learn more about it now that you asked this question. An open variable versus a private one. Well, it's kind of the opposite because we can get everything we need from the lookup fields and have it interactable dynamically. Anyway, I'm probably butchering your question because I don't know the answer. Cool. Yeah, no problem. Maybe I need to look more into that, because here's the short answer. I always give the long answer. The short answer is it's just the text version of the lookup primary field. That's the short version that I know that I would use it for. The text version of the primary field, or the primary field. But I'll look more into it, because that's all I've ever seen it as and used it for, but maybe there's a better use. So great, bring up. You're always asking the good questions. Anyway, diving back in. We're connecting assembly table. We're connecting the video clips. So if I were to add some video clips in here now, these should automatically pop in here. I have the video clips connected. So just to test this out, I'm going to bring some video clips, just copy these video clips just for testing. I'll copy this video clip, paste it into this project. This is the refresh Airtable project. So now in the assembly table, we'll see that one video clip come through. That is what we want. We got Dennis saying we don't see the join call button. I see it now. Great. All right, so we got things coming as they should into the assembly table. Let me go back into my assembly working view here. We should be able to assemble the combined videos now. So for this full test one, this one is the one I'm going to test. This full test video project back in the generation table. This is our full test video project. It's got 2 videos, meaning we can combine them by clicking this assemble button. All right, so let's link that up. We're getting back into the make scenario now. So clicking this assemble button will trigger the Airtable automation. See if we can find that. Anyone just coming into the stream, I am building an AI faceless video generator. This is going to create those niche style AI videos using video generator models like Kling and Minimax. We're using Flux, generating images in Flux via these API calls. The API I'm making calls to is the Flux, is the FAL.ai API. There's a bunch of models in FAL you can check out if you browse FAL. Start using that API. So I'm making calls to the API, and we're making these generations, and we're going to be making videos with Minimax. So I'm just recording this stream, going about my regular workday, just figuring this stuff out, talking aloud to myself, and hopefully you guys find some value in watching me. One of the best ways I learn personally is watching an expert in something fail. I learned so much watching somebody do the hard stuff. That just teaches me more than, a perfect execution of something. It's like watching gymnasts and they nail these landings. You're like, man, I could do that. And you go try and do what gymnasts do, and you can't. Watching a gymnast smash the mat teaches you way more. That's kind of my philosophy. That's the way I learn best. Anyway, we're getting this automation to trigger. We need the combine clips trigger here. Oh, and what I was getting at, as well as this was a previous automation I built that I'm just ripping up and turning into a new automation here. So some of these automations are residual from my previous build. So I have this one here called combine all clips. We need to run this one. So let's connect this one up. When a record matches conditions in the assembly table, and assemble is checked. Flip this one on. Let's run this script. We need to get this webhook. Come back into make. Let's connect this webhook. There it is. We're running the combine clips action. Let's check on that action. So we're going to combine clips. Action is equal to combine clips. Looks good. Should be able to trigger it now and see what happens. Probably going to unlink this from the main route. Link it to the testing route. Just reorganize all this stuff so we can see it. Great, so now all we can do in this scenario via the reroute for testing router is create the scenes and combine the clips. Nothing else will run accidentally. New to community, new to Telegram, Dennis, welcome. So this live stream, I'm just going about my workday, building stuff out, but you can definitely ask me any questions if you see some interesting things here. I think we can just try it out. Let me reconnect all my Airtable modules. The connection I'm using, I think, is this one. I've got too many connections, too many bases. So actually, this is a great little demo for everyone struggling connecting their Airtable modules back up. If you download one of my blueprints, you're going to get something like this, right? Then you have to connect all your modules to your Airtable base if I provide you the template or you build one on your own. So if you come into a module that I've built, it's going to be connected to my connection, my base, and the table inside of my base, right? So if you need to reconnect your Airtable modules to your Airtable base, you'll have to come create your own connection or select your same connection you've been using from the list, and that looks good, right? This is actually not correct. This is the wrong base. This is going to throw you an error. It's not going to work out. So my new connection here is actually connected. If I drop this down, to this base. This is the current Airtable base I'm using. This is my previous Airtable base. So if you download one of my templates, one of my blueprints, you'll have to change this connection in the bases. Same thing, you'll have to come into the table and choose the other table. Most likely, if you download my templates and blueprints, I try and name everything the same, keep everything nice and organized. So you'll see this assembly table is what I'm connected to. I need to connect to the other assembly table in the new base. That is always a headache, trying to connect the Airtable modules, trying to connect the make blueprints to your new setup, your new templates. So I'm just going to go through and make sure all the connections are good. Everything should be good. I need to generate a new webhook here. Let's go do that real quick. So this webhook, this is going to be when the video comes back from JSON to video. JSON to video will send that webhook to trigger the Airtable automation. So we'll get combined video back from JSON to video. We'll get that webhook received. And so we need this example webhook. This is where JSON to video will trigger that. So I'm going to copy that webhook, come back into make, paste that in the endpoint right there. Now we don't need this. We're not going to have subtitles. This is from the previous build. So I might actually ultimately need to generate an entirely new data structure. But for now, I think I can just get rid of that element. I don't want any subtitles. We're not going to have any audio. We're not going to have any text coming through. I just want the videos to be combined. So I'll get rid of that element. It will combine all of the videos, all the scenes in the array, and nothing else. So give that a shot, and it should be my current JSON to video connection. So this chain should be good to go. I'm going to save the scenario, run it. Now I won't be able to set this up. We're not going to get anything back into Airtable until this chain runs once and that webhook comes back, excuse me, from JSON to video. Minsa, you were working on that for a little while, getting that stuff to come back in the other automation. Excellent job on that, by the way. All right, so we are going to test the full test. Click assemble. That'll trigger this chain, take all of the scenes, run through them, throw them into JSON to video, and JSON to video will concatenate all those scenes together. Awesome. So that request has gone out to JSON to video, but not only will it take a little bit to come back, it's also not going to populate in the combined video section right here until that other automation is finished. So I'm going to come into JSON to video, check my render logs to make sure that even went through, and we got an error. Let's check it out. Movie duration cannot be 0. Okay. Don't know what that means. Let's find out. I'm going to check my structure here. So I might have we don't have a source coming through either. So this was disconnected. Okay, so what was happening here is this was the previous field. I should have paid attention coming through this. This was the previous field from the previous automation. So we got to link the new field, which is the video field. We want video clips from generation from project. We want that entire array. There we go. Now we should be able to link those URLs. That'll come through. And we've got the duration in there, so we just didn't have a source coming through. That should fix it. Try that again. So that request went out. Let's see if we got it in JSON to video. I'll refresh. Great, that one is running. So again, this one won't come back into Airtable until we finish off the Airtable automation. So we're just gonna have to wait in JSON to video until this one is finished to know what is going on here. There we go. 2 scenes, pretty simple. I only have the 2 scenes to run through, so that one is done. If we check Airtable, we see that is not coming through. That's what we knew would happen. And we see the webhook has been received. The step is successful. That is working. Now we can update that record. So it looks like we have, this all looks good. And the combined video is still the combined video. We're going to get the URL from JSON to video. I'll toggle this automation on, and to run this, so we get that to update the record, I'll just run this manually the first time. So the update record, whoops. The update record action, I can click run as configured, run test. This will test it, but it'll actually run it through. And we'll get this error. Attachment field could not be parsed. All right, so it's just, we probably have to update these records right here. But there it is. Our combined video with the 2 scenes. Excellent. All right, the combined video chain is working. I could fix that little error that happened, but I think if we rerun it, it should work fine. Talked about this in the last stream too. You might see an error like that or see something going wrong and decide to start troubleshooting when that troubleshooting might work itself out just by running it. So let's move on. Yeah, thanks. Pretty cool stuff. Mensa, I love your level of enthusiasm. Just, it's awesome. It keeps me going. Keeps me going. So combine clips, we can finish it off now. We have the last chain to work with, adding music and finishing the video. That is so exciting. So I think what I'm going to do is just connect everything to the main route just to reorganize this entire make scenario. Save it. Auto align, make sure everything is lined up in proper order. Oops. Click on my main, right click on my main router to reorder the routes. I want to generate scenes first, generate images. I want to generate video, then combine clips, then add music and finish. Cool. Save it one more time. Let's add music and finish. Let's go for it. I think we can finish this entire thing on this stream today. I'm feeling good. I have some energy. Usually I start feeling tired about the 1.5 hour mark. Start losing my mind. This stuff is so mentally exhausting sometimes. Great. Let's do it. So we got our combined video. We just simply need to drop our music file in here and that will trigger the finished video automation. So that's an automatic trigger. Once, if this is checked and this is in here and the music is in here, this will automatically finish the video. So let's see how that trigger is working. Back into make, we have this set to action is equal to build full video. Checking the automations here, we got that build full video action is not properly named. Confusing myself already. So we have the add music and finish automation that runs the build full video action. Just for the sake of keeping myself sane and naming everything so even I can remember my own work. Just fully name this variable. Add music and finish. Now variables are finicky. It's just like actual coding. You have to get your variable just right. And so this formatting for my variable, this is probably not how you would name a variable in coding, but it is based on best practices. I think it's called camel coding, how you name stuff with capital letters. If they're different words, you leave the words together, but the first letter of each word is capitalized. Camel case, look at you, dang. Camel case. So I'm gonna keep my awkward camel case. Let's flip on this automation, and we need the full video back from JSON to video as well, but that will be the same as before. That one has to actually come back from JSON to video before we can flip it on and finish off this automation. So this one is going to get triggered. Let's check our triggers. When combined video is not empty, when music is not empty, and a symbol is checked. So semi-automatic. After everything is there, it will just, boom, start finishing the video without clicking another button. So I have some music. I wonder, just to test this out. No, I don't think I have a blank music file already in here. So let me come into my Suno account, just grab some song. Built-in delay in the when a record matches conditions. So you can add a timer in here, but Airtable doesn't have a built-in timer action. You can create a timer in the script. And running scripts in Airtable, creating scripts, all the scripts I learned and wrote, essentially ChatGPT did for me. So that is pro tip for writing scripts in Airtable. Just say, oh, ChatGPT. I think it's my internet today. Let me check. I've got T-Mobile. Yeah. Maybe ChatGPT is down today. Anyway, you can, simple as that, ChatGPT will write you a pretty good script, and then you could always reprompt it saying, is this the best way to write this timer script? Can you optimize my timer script? And copy and paste that back into Airtable. Any scripts you need, anything, deleting things, you know, again, I'm not a coder, so it's going to be up to you on how you script. But, you know, all these scripts that run the automations and trigger the make scenario, I just said, I need this, this, and that. Can you write a script for that? Right? Pretty simple. So yeah, we were checking on that. We could add a variable condition in the data, all kinds of things. So just creativity. What we're going to do is grab some music. So let's see here. I don't really know about any of this music I generated in Suno. Just gonna grab one. That's fine. Download that. Pop up in my downloads folder. Jump back into our assembly table. Pop that music right in there. Now this should automatically trigger and send to JSON to video, but we don't have that turned on, so we need to run that once and re-trigger it. So I'll run it, come back into Airtable, and just re-trigger it. Having trouble with Google Cloud Console, can I use AWS? Yes, there are ways to do that. I haven't used AWS in its fullest capacity, so I don't think I have any tips for you there. I try and use Google as often as I can. It's free and it's very accessible with all these integrations, though you'll hit this point where they start charging you pretty heavily. And Alex says he needs to go. I appreciate you if you watch this live stream back on record. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, so AWS, any sort of cloud storage, cloud service, cloud platform, you'll be able to integrate with in some way or another. That'll just take a little bit of research. In fact, a tiny bit of research. You just ask a language model step by step how to do it. That's how I learn everything. Great, let's check that generation in here. We should have the full video with the music coming back, but it looks like we didn't even make that call. So something is going on probably in the scenario. Most likely, yeah, I did not even set up the connection here. So let's go back to that. You guys have good questions today. You guys have good questions every day. It's fun. All right, reconnect it. So now we should get this to come through. I'll double check the rest of the chain. Looks good. We need this webhook. Back in Airtable. Automations. This is the webhook that JSON to video is going to send back. Copy that. Paste that right there. Now, in case anyone is curious, I go over this in the school community, the full course on how to build the automation previous to this one, this automation's predecessor. But the way that I built these data structures, this was probably the hardest thing I've ever learned how to do. There's a lot of people that have built these data structures and these automations like this, like Stephen Pope. And, he has, in some of his early videos, he had data structures like this that he built out for JSON to video. And I was like, man, how did he even do that? What's even going on there? I don't want to just copy and paste. I want to learn how that was done. So for anyone interested in how to actually build these data structures, these JSON data structures to get this working with JSON to video, it's a lot of research with JSON to video, figuring out what they need, how they construct their videos. These are actually elements and names and necessary things in JSON to video. So the scene array, the elements, the type, the source, all spelled like this, duration, volume, all of these are requirements in JSON to video. And so building out data structures, in case anyone's curious, here's a little side note on the stream. JSON, create JSON, you would add a new data structure and simply add all of the structure here, name it whatever the JSON to video names are. For example, SRC, you would set the type of data that is an array, for example. Then inside of the array, you would set the information inside of this array. So maybe another array inside of that array. That array would house a text object or a, let's say it's a collection. This can be another JSON to video specified thing. And then, right, we have all our settings. So it took me a long time. It was definitely the hardest thing to figure out all of those settings and get these built. But if you don't want to do that, I have these JSON structures built out in the school community. You can check them out, download them, and just, load them up into your scenario. The way that you would load up a JSON data structure, you would create a new one, name it, and click generate, then paste in the structure that I have for you. Anyway, side note on JSON data structures, that was the hardest thing to make from scratch. Anyway, so that's where all these settings come from, linking everything up back from Airtable. That looks good. JSON video, we have that JSON string going in there. Cool. That should work now. Let's trigger that. Cool. Oh, Joey. Man, what's going on? Good to have you in the live stream. I'm just going about for everyone coming into the live stream at this point, I'm just going about my regular workday, just recording myself. This is what I do every day anyway, so I might as well record myself and build some stuff out. Anyone coming in asking, why am I using Make instead of N8N? N8N is the hotness right now. Everyone is jumping ship over to N8N. So I have some advice on that. If you are running a business and you are working in Make and everything inside of Make is working great and you don't wish Make could do anything different, then keep using Make. There's no reason to jump over to N8N. N8N is showing a lot of AI agent capability. There's some other tools coming out showing AI agent capability. So that is definitely where the future of AI is going, this agentic workflows. Make is coming out with some new stuff, so you don't have to really jump ship if it's working for you. What people are finding with N8N and why people are jumping into it is that you can host it locally, everything on your local machine or your local network. That is preferable to some businesses, so that is the option there for N8N. All my content is going to be focused around N8N. Every video that I'm making on YouTube is going to be centered around N8N. All the content in the school community is going to be centered around N8N. This particular automation is generating faceless AI videos using an API called fowl.ai. We're creating images using the Flux model, and we're creating videos so far using Minimax. We can build in Kling model, Luma Labs, stuff like that. So I'm building this automation in Make because I started it, I don't know, a couple months ago. And so I'm just gonna finish it off in Make, get it running, start generating videos, put it out there. But all of my Make scenarios, all of my Make automations, I will be building in N8N just to learn more about N8N, keep using it. I feel like I'm mastering N8N pretty quickly. Got some cool stuff coming down with that and more videos coming out today, actually. So that is the summary of what's going on if you're coming into the stream at this point. So welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let's jump back into what we're doing. We need to check JSON to video. Keep getting distracted. So much going on. So many loose ends to tie up in here. So I don't think that video request was made. We can figure this out again here. Whoops. And most likely, yeah, okay. Most likely it's because I have the main route disabled. Here we go. And we're getting stuck on this add music and finish. We're not passing that, so something is going on in the make automation here. So I set that variable. I may not have add music and finish. I think we're going to finish this automation today. Oh, I see what's going on here too. We're running that down and sending those generations to combine clips again. So we're still not passing this variable for some reason. Let's unlink this, link it to the testing route. I'll disable the main route again. That way I don't actually accidentally send requests down the combined video chain. This one should have a new running video in it if it's not already done. Yeah, those got sent down like that. Cool. We have that variable set up and I copied and pasted it, so it should be running fine. However, we are not passing this filter. I'll tweak my variable. Add music, finish. Probably defaulted. Will you be sharing this blueprint of Faceless Niche AI video generator? Yes, I will. Once this one is finished, this blueprint and Airtable template will be up for grabs in the school community. Joey says he learned backwards, wrote Applications, man, that's cool. And Make has some integrations that N8N doesn't have. Yeah, so Make is still, Make's been around a little longer. Make did to Zapier what N8N is probably doing to Make, so we'll see those integrations coming through in N8N. But if you're using, if you need something done, Make is probably still going to have more functionality. Oh, you're right. You're right. Mensa, webhook. No, that works. That works. That should be coming through. We already changed that, I think. Maybe not. You're right. Look at you. You're teaching me now, man. There's just so much going on. Nice call there. Look at you, my man. Okay, so let's run it. Make sure I put that variable in there as well. Good eye. Save it, run it. Told you I hit that hour-and-a-half mark and my brain just goes to mush. I thought I was going strong. Turns out I'm an idiot. Oh, we're still not passing that. Let's see. So we're passing in the action to combine clips here. So we're probably just, let me trigger it differently, because we're probably just, how can I arrange this in my brain? So we're probably overriding the Airtable automation by checking this instead of letting this run how it's supposed to run. So what I'm going to do is we're going to run it. Let's actually back out, delete old data, delete everything, shut it off, come back into it, run it once, come back into Airtable. I'll delete the music, then undo that. So that'll trick it, drop it back in there. There we go. So just webhook error and overriding the actual action. Overriding itself, trying to run down this chain when we want it to run down this chain. Cool, so that should make the call here in JSON to video. Refresh this, check my logs. I didn't see if this was the next one. That one might be done already. So let's come back. We're not going to see it here. I keep switching to my circle. We're not going to see it here until we fix that Airtable automation. Full video back from JSON to video. Looks like we got that to come through. Flip it on. Update the record, and we should be fine here. We might get that weird error in here, but it should go through and work itself out. So I'll run as configured, run test. This will actually run that update record, and now we get this weird error. But that should work itself out on the next run through. Check the data. There's our finished video. So here's our 2-scene video with that background music. Can you hear the music in the stream? Is that coming through? Music's not coming through in the stream? Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that will come through, but it has music in there. Alan says, Mate can be difficult to connect with Google. Anything outside the US is going to be difficult. Anything inside the US is starting to be difficult too. We got some unfortunate laws. Guys, that's it. We finished it. Everything's working. The final test is to run this fully through, generate an entire video here. Let's do it. Let's do it together. I'm going to unlink this, link it back up to the main route, make sure all my routes are in order. Looks good. Save it, enable the main route. Save it again, just because I'm going to flip it on. We are running, and we need to flip on Minimax. I actually don't think I have enough credits in my FAL account to run this. I might have to put some credits in my FAL account. I need to check these API keys as well. These are all the API keys I create and then delete. So I need to add those back in there. So let's do that. We'll get it going. Jump into FAL. I'm just going to bring this off screen so I can put my API keys in here without anybody trying to steal my credits on the screen. Not that you guys would. All right, got to sign into FAL. Oh man, it's making me sign into all my email accounts and verify. Okay. I just throw some credits in my FAL account. Minimax definitely costs a lot comparatively. Let's see. GitHub signed me into the wrong account here now. Oh yeah, all right, so I need to figure out how to sign into FAL now. That got kicked out of my GitHub account. I'll do that in a second. Let's just see. Just see which one I have in here first. And let's go ahead and test it. Start a new video project. Create a new record. We'll call this, I don't know, what do we want to make? Let's do Let's do a well, we only have our generic theme writer, so we have to kind of stick to a generic theme here. That could be another thing we could do is create a new prompt writer. So for a generic theme, let's just do, I don't know, pirates. Pirates video, it'll be portrait orientation. We'll use our generic theme writer, photograph, style, image prompt, and we'll say pirates looking for treasure. I don't know. This will just be to test out the full video. Capabilities. Set it to manual. I don't think I've set up any of the automatic settings. So that's another thing we can do. Set it to manual and click start. We are toggled on. That looks good. I'm going to back out so we can watch this run. And go. See how far we can get down. Still trying to log into my GitHub. Let's see where we got. Looks like we stopped. I think we did it, right? Everything should be generated. We have our pirates theme. We got all of the image prompts in here. A rugged group of pirates eagerly searching through a treasure chest filled with shimmering gold coins. I think we lost our image prompt somewhere. The image prompt preset somewhere in this prompt. So that is something we could take a look at. I think what's going on was that original problem in here for the iterator not bringing that image prompt all the way through. But we also need, it should be linked up in here, we also need the prompt preset coming through. Right, so read the inputs and quotes above, craft a prompt, image prompt based on that. So that prompt is something I'll probably have to tweak and toggle. I'm not going to worry about it too much for now. I want it to come back with the prompt preset in here so that we get that consistency for the image generation. But for now, it's creating each of these unique prompts for each scene. And it looks pretty good just for this testing. But we'll have to fix that prompting. Cool, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'll go ahead and generate these images and see if my file account is actually connected up while I try and reconnect it. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we got an error. error is, yeah, don't have my file account connected. So let me just do that, get that done. For some reason, it kicked me out of GitHub, and my GitHub account isn't connecting, so I had to go fetch my password. That's what's taking this little minute here. But got into my file account. I'll connect everything up with a new API key. Like I said, I go into my account and I delete all my API keys periodically. I forget which ones I use for testing. I try and name them all correctly, but I forget which ones I use for testing and which ones are my permanent ones. So I end up deleting all my API keys and have to regenerate them, especially for these live streams and YouTube demos. I create so many new keys. So I'm going to link up my API key, throw some credits into my file account. A couple bucks will do the job. There we go. And now I'm going to link my API key. I'm doing this off screen. I'm going to link my API key to the make scenario. I really want to get this one finished on this stream, but I'm losing steam. I hit that hour-and-a-half mark. My brain goes to mush. I want to get this video, this new test video, finished to see if everything runs through nicely. So just adding my keys in here. There we go. There we go. Let's rock and roll now. Cool. So I'm going to re-trigger this now. Let's flip this back on. Everything looks good there. I'll back out. Re-trigger all of these. Not going to worry too much about the quality that comes out here. Just want to make sure it all runs through, but major thing on the to-do list is actually fixing the prompt generation prompt, the prompt that creates prompts. And without even checking the make scenario, we see those images already coming through from Fal. They're in the proper orientation. We chose portrait orientation, so all the settings are coming through. We did not specify the style here is not coming through. That is part of that reprompting. So we're getting a mix of style, inconsistent style, but that's okay. We'll tackle that a different time. We're getting some pretty ugly images just because we don't have any style. Prompts in there. I could just copy and paste that in here before generating those images. I could just add that style line. But we'll just see if this works. Now this video preset, I want to work this in a little bit differently, but we can set our video preset manually. The only one we have here is simple animation. That just creates a subtle animation. That is the prompt, video prompt here, but we can get into the prompt presets and create all kinds of video prompts here. We'll just leave it as subtle animation for all of these videos. Let's go ahead and generate all the videos. Let's check back and make. Looks like videos are being generated. This step will take the longest. It makes that call to Minimax, then runs this loop, keeps checking on the status of the video to see if the video has finished. If it is finished, it moves on, downloads the video, and throws it into Airtable. If it hasn't finished, it'll restart this little loop and repeat that until the video is finished. So we can wait on, I think it'll be about a minute or 2 minutes for the first video. To finish, likewise, we'll have to wait a bit for the rest of the videos to come through. Cool. So I was working in my all data view. I'm back in my working view, my generation view. So I'm going to group these scenes by video project, just like we did before. Now I've got the full test up here. We've got the Pirates video and the refresh test right here. I'm going to come up to this button to change the size of the records, and we're just waiting on the videos to come back. I'll probably show the video prompt preset field, and actually let's just show all of these here, just because I'm not sure how I want to work that. So manual video prompt settings for now. Let's rename this field. We'll just name this prompt label or label. This is a video prompt, and then the actual prompt, the preset, the type, label, and the actual text prompt. Still waiting on that first video. Should run through pretty soon. Check on the status in JSON to video. And oh, we don't have anything running through JSON to video yet. This is still hasn't come back. That is going to run, whoops, keep switching to the circle. That's going to run down here when we combine our videos, or combine our clips. I want to check foul. So let's see, I'm running Minimax. It's currently active. Can check the requests. And it looks like we've got those requests coming through. These are the videos from last week. No, these were from today, I guess. They haven't loaded up with the thumbnail yet. So that first one should be in Airtable. Oh, okay, so they all did come through. That's what we're seeing here. Okay. Sweet, let's check them out. First video, subtle animation. Not bad, Minimax. funky just because the style is funky. Image to video models like this one I'm using obviously are going to rely heavily on the quality of the image to produce quality of the video. And I think Minimax is doing an incredible job maintaining the style of each scene, even though it's not consistent. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Now let's see this one. That's beautiful. Yeah, so the only thing we need to do is switch up the prompt so that we actually get that style in there for the next video. But I'll just continue on with this one so we can see if this full video works. Now, what's going to happen next? All the video clips are done. We're going to check the assembly table. We check all data. We can see the Pirates video clips are all done. That means we can assemble and add music. So while these videos are assembling, let's just check make sure that triggered. There it goes. Let's generate some pirate music. Pirate music. Simple enough. Takes 45 minutes for the first video, yeah. Takes a while for these videos to generate, but totally hands off, especially when you build in the automatic generation. Right now it's sort of, set to manually, have to manually trigger the video generation. There's a question from Sidium. Is there a combined video? We just need our pirate music. I don't know if you guys can hear this on the stream. I don't know if I have those settings toggled on just because computer sounds can get overwhelming. So I don't usually have them toggled on, but I'll just download this music. Clyde, what's going on? Download that music, drop it in. Got to wait for that file to finish being created. There it is. Now this should automatically trigger this next automation. As soon as I drop the music in here, it should trigger the next automation. So I can drop that in, jump back into Make, and see if that triggers the last chain here. There we go. And we should have our video come back as soon as JSON to video puts that together. We'll have the combined video clips and the music in our finished video. Can always double check JSON to video render logs. It should take roughly 35 seconds since it's the same video length. There it is, 42 seconds. Now, let's see if this one pops in here. There it is. So that little slight error that came through in the automations in the JSON to the video back from JSON to video, usually those weird little glitch errors tend to work themselves out when you actually run the automation. So anytime you're running the automations in Airtable via the testing buttons, don't try and troubleshoot those errors too much. Set it all up and then actually run your automation. That usually works out those weird little glitches instead of trying to problem solve those. So here we go. Finished product. Don't think you guys can hear the music, but it's in there. Funky pirate video. Funky pirate video with some music. It's great. Guys, we did it. We finished off the niche video generator. Just going to take some tweaks. Totally random style in each of those scenes, but some of those tweaks, we got to tweak so we can build out a different prompt writer. Right now, I just have the generic prompt writer, so it's going to take in a very generic prompt like pirates looking for treasure, and it's going to write out image prompts based on that. So generic prompt, write out some generic scenes based on that, right? We can get in here, write a prompt for a writer for a specific niche or a specific genre. For example, we can have a specific Viking writer or a specific pirate writer or whatever niche you're involved in. We could have a, baseball or all-stars prompt writer. Pirate prompt writer. And so we can create a new prompt that will generate prompts more accurately, more interesting for your scenes, right? So that's some tweaks we can do in here. The other thing we have to do is come into system automation and fix the JSON bot prompt. So we're getting inconsistency here. I'll try and do this right now, maybe generate some more scenes just so we can get some consistent scenes going on. I don't think I'll run any more through Minimax and use those credits. That's working. So if I want to generate something, that'll be something for myself that I actually want to use. But we're getting some inconsistency here in this naming, and we're getting some inconsistency where it's taking the input prompt preset. So this right here, create a single detailed AI image generation prompt based on the input text and the preset text provided in quotes. Begin the prompt with the exact preset text provided in quotes, ensuring it remains unchanged. So we're getting some inconsistencies there because back in Make, taking a look at our create prompt assistant here, for the user input, I've given the prompt preset and the input image prompt in quotes. Now, something I might try is to just put both of these in quotes, just to say, yes, this is in quotes, and yes, this is in quotes. That might clear up some of the confusion, but again, it's just going to be restructuring this prompt to figure this out. So I probably won't spend too much time on it, maybe run this one through and see what we can do, then call it a day for this stream. This just shows you, you can get really crafty or have to get really crafty with your prompt engineering, especially working with AI assistants and eventually the way things are going, working with your AI agents in N8N or Flowise or something like that, you can get really, really crafty. So I think I'm just going to try this. We have the structure in the other prompt set up. Let's just specify these are the things in quotes. So let's try that. So I'm going to create a new story. I'll just duplicate this story. I keep saying story, that was the previous automation. Create a new project. Let's make this one Vikings. By the way, anyone interested in these niche content themes, Vikings is a very profitable theme if you want to get into making Viking content and then selling Viking stuff. Let's use our generic theme writer, our photographed image style, and let's say Vikings. We'll just say Vikings. Sure. Set it to manual just because and run it. Dennis says, can you do one of the MP3 files here? So you can, I'm assuming you're talking about the music section here. In the assembly table, I think these are MP3 that come out of Suno. You can put in whatever MP3 file you want from your computer, whatever files you want to add, you just drag and drop them in here. I'm working with Suno to programmatically generate music via an automation. But for now, you can just drag and drop any music files you want into the music section here. And that goes, for any automation you build, this is just an attachment field. An attachment field, and you can drag in any attachments, any files. Just to sit pirate MP3s. Yeah, so yeah. If you guys can't hear the music, let me... I don't know why it's not working in Telegram. It should come through in the recorded playback. But I can drop that file so you can hear it. I think it's this one. Suno does an excellent job for music creation. Even if it doesn't get the sound right on the first generation, you just get more specific with your prompt, and the music there is incredible. All right. So we're going to generate this Viking thing. We should have everything in the generation table ready to go, and we did not get our prompt preset to come through. So again, that's something I'll just troubleshoot that off stream. But now I'm just curious. I want to copy and paste the prompt preset. I'm curious what these Viking images will look like. So I'm just going to copy and paste. Oh, look, it actually added it in somewhere. So I stand corrected. It did not add it into the beginning of the first one. It's not in the second one. We got it in the third one. Yeah, so funky prompting. I got to restructure that prompt so that it's coming back with the prompt preset. So I'll go ahead and add that prompt preset to all of these manually. I'm just curious what these Viking images will come out like. With my generic theme writer, again, these prompts will take some tweaking. You can create your prompt writers, tweak your prompt writers to make these prompts come out much better. I just wrote that, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I had ChatGPT write that generic prompt writer prompt. And so it's pretty basic, the prompt that actually creates these prompts. So, creating your videos, creating the quality here, it definitely comes down to your prompting skills, your prompt engineering skills. Alternatively, you can create all the scenes and then just hand type all your prompts in here. You don't have to have them automatically generated. You can hand type all your prompts, have those generate that way. So this automation, capable of doing lots of things. Just the Airtable base, capable of doing lots of things. Um, streamline your content creation, even if you're not doing things automatically. All right, let's just generate. I'm going to generate the images, but not the videos. And we'll call it good for the day. Oh, that is not what I wanted. See, that's the image preset that should be coming through. We're just not getting that. So let's see. Create some images here just for fun and call it a day. Everything's working. I'll tweak that prompt around, re-engineer that prompt around, and this entire automation, the make blueprint, the Airtable database, all this stuff will be available in the school community to download for free. You can join the community and grab all this stuff. Not bad. So just having to create a DSLR camera quality photograph of line in there created some consistency between the scenes and a lot more realism. Very nice, very nice. I love it. Great Viking images. Cool. So that is it for this one, guys. Excellent. I had an excellent time putting this together. Appreciate all of you being on the stream. Good questions today. You're welcome, Joey. Thanks, Mensa. Cool. So if you guys are watching the stream, I have the link to my school community in the description of this video. I'll have the replay up on YouTube. I'll have the replay up in the school community. If you click the link to join my school community, once you join, you'll have access to all of my courses. I've got all these automations, all the automations I've built up there for download. You can download the Airtable templates, the make blueprints, all my end-to-end workflows, all of the ChatGPT prompts I'm putting in there. All of the prompts I've ever used in any of these assistants will go up in the school community for these automations. So you can check that out there. There we go. You can check that out there. I really appreciate everyone watching the stream. I should have a new video coming out. I'm going to finish editing it today. Should have it coming out within the next hour, another N8N tutorial, so you can look forward to that as well. In just about an hour or two, got to finish off that video. So I appreciate you. Thanks for watching the stream, and I will see you in the next